Hi guys, in this video we are playing Feedback Friday. It is a thread on Reddit, game dev, and I invite you all to go and post something you've worked on. Just keep it simple. It doesn't matter if it's ugly, it's a prototype. If you don't have anything you can post, you're very welcome to go in and post feedback. Posting feedback is very much appreciated, and it's also really hard. It's a skill that we all need to practice a lot, and it's really worthwhile cultivating being able to give good feedback. It's also extremely hard receiving feedback. It can just be difficult. Some of us have a lot of blockers inside and we get really stressed about it, and working through all these different steps where we all have blockers at different points, it helps. It makes us stronger if we have good experiences. That's what we want. Take the chance. We're doing another Feedback Friday, the last Friday of March 2025. So use that as a deadline if you want to. And remember that it's not just the making the games we have to practice and get better at. It's also all the other things. It's putting them up there, putting ourselves out there, getting over all these inner turmoils that we have along the way. If you're new here, I'm Paul. I like to make games. I've been making games for 15 years. Mostly serious things in 3D and stuff like that. And I hope you'd like to follow along on the journey. So one thing that helps you learn is also just reading other people, giving other people feedback, whether you think that's good feedback or if you can use that feedback in your game or demo. The one we played today, which is 547. If you're interested in going and seeing those games. So one of the reasons I did this was because currently my little brother is interning at the company I work for, and he's been working on a small game, and I wanted to push him to show that to people because that's really scary. And like getting over that first step, seeing it's not that scary. The big fear is that everyone's watching, right? The spotlight effect. No one is watching, and the important thing is trying, getting out there, getting feedback early. So yeah, we'll share my screen. So here's the post. There are so many people starting game development lately that it seems like a good time to start it up again, because giving feedback and getting feedback is just so valuable, and having people play your game. So we're going to scroll down and try the first game. This is very much a work in progress. Already, so some feedback we went through at one point was the color palette. And the color palette's already improved a lot. This is a math game. Use the glue to glue the bubbles together and drag it to target bottom. Here, my feedback was that I would like it to show that I clicked it the first time. Whoops. Apparently. Okay. I got that wrong last time too. Next level. Oh no, the glue's gone. Try throwing the bubbles into each other. So here I definitely had like a velocity issue, and my little brother was just good at it. And playing yesterday, I got good at it too. He says and fails, but there's definitely an issue there. And there I also recommended him, and now I'm recommending you. You debug log good things. You can see there's a few things. He logs the score, he logs your win, which is great. But something that would also be great is if he logged the velocity and the threshold value. Do that, it's good. But you also have to respect the debug log. If you log too much, all the logging becomes worthless because you just ignore it. It becomes noise. So don't do that. And when you're finished debugging something, clean up your debugs. And never have warning. Use the scissors to split the bubble in two. So the scissor button is gone now. Try swiping to split. So here I also really want feedback on the swipe. And that brings me to, so if you're not working on a prototype, I strongly implore you to start one with your game idea. And then you have a month. So I promise I'm going to do a feedback. I haven't actually checked my calendar. I'm going to do a Feedback Friday post on March 28th. So that's your deadline. Do a game prototype, upload it, have people play it. Like, there's already a bunch of people that have seen these videos and I've talked to a little bit that have things cooking. And it would be nice to see them. So back to the game. So I think you get the gist of it. So here the buttons only work. This is not my favorite level, and then you get the swipes back and you get random levels. At one point in the levels, there's more bubbles numbers here than there are down here. And I didn't like that. And he asked, can you explain why? And that was actually quite hard. But I definitely see it as like the puzzle being this going here. You know, I see the puzzle as being the numbers have to go down here. And if there's puzzles left over, It's like when you're putting an IKEA closet together, you don't want to have screws left over at the end. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. If you have any ideas, let me know. Feedback is hard. Let's go back to the thread. That was a really nice one. This one's a good one. If you have any name ideas, you're also very welcome. My name idea was Rubik's Roller, and I also suggested better progression. So it's quite obvious the mechanics vary quickly, but it would be really nice with a simpler level where you start and you see a windscreen faster. This comes across to me as a bit of a casual game, but a hardcore casual game. So I'm not going to try this. I have actually tried it. You should go in and try it and post your times. I tried coming up with some strategies, but I got overwhelmed by the difficulty and I gave up. That's a really big problem in games. It's too hard and people give up because they don't want to feel dumb. Yeah, I've done it a million times. But if we started with a 3x3 grid or even a 2x2 grid, so a 2x2 grid, you also don't want to insult your player base. So I think a 2x2 grid would be too easy. It's still good, just clicking that first thing and seeing it resolve, and then a 3x3, and then a 4x4, and why not a 5x5? So, very interesting project. And if you have any name suggestions, go and put them in the comments. Now we're gonna play the third game. So I've tried this once before, and I've given some feedback. It's pretty. OctoJump. You play as a little octopus. I think it's really cute. It's really pretty. Oh, it saved my progress. Let's go to level select and show you guys the quick. Oh yeah, the controls are off. I can't use WASD. I have to use arrow key. Oh, but why am I not? Oh, okay. So when I select level 1, it gave me the first. Okay, so because I've already played the game, I'm not getting the tutorial, but there's a really nice help screen. And the tutorial was really good too. So you can jump, you can double jump, and a hover. You can go from one to the other. Yeah, that makes sense. So one of the cool things was that you can go back and replay them and kind of collect more oil. I'm gonna not get that one. Do I use oil when I double jump? Okay, so now I got a bit more oil, and it's a nice way to do replayability. It kind of makes past levels easier by giving you resources that you can then go back and play again. And here is the machine I can buy at OctoJump. Space. Let's go. But see, now I can't collect any of the things. I don't understand. Oops. Okay, but this was also in my feedback where I used the machine and then I couldn't get any other things. I imagine it's because I used the thing, but no. Let's go to level selection. This game, I'm not used to the... I'm interested what the target audience is. What would be your first intuition of what the target audience is here? To be fair, I am not the world's biggest platformer dude. So here would be, yeah, I can see nice mechanics going in like that. Yeah, I quite like the flow of it. But again, I don't play that many platformers, so I feel like I'm not a connoisseur. What platformers have I played? What am I comparing it to? I feel like the controls are a bit slow. Not slow. Slow is not the right word. Yeah, it's definitely one of those where it can be a lot easier to be a game developer because I would just go in and tweak for hours till I got the feeling that I would expect to get from an octopus. I feel like there should also be some up and down movement on his sprites, moving up and down. Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. No. What was I talking about? Let's explore those thoughts. It's really hard coming with constructive feedback on something I can't adjust and play with. One thing is where, like, what is the air friction like? Like, my ability to jump and turn around. And if I sat and played with it, I would be like, oh, how does this feel? How does this feel? And feeling and experimenting would help me formulate what I think. And there's the task of, like, a prototype thing. It's much harder to just play something and be like, is this good? So I think what I'd like to end on is I'm not a great playtester and I'm not great at giving feedback. But the only way I'm going to get better is by practicing. And the only way you're going to get better at making games and make great games that you like playing is by putting them out there, getting to people to play them. Playtest earlier. That's what everyone says. You're not going to find anyone that says playtest later. So I implore you, go in, see the thread, play some of the games, try and give better feedback than me, and see how hard it is. If you're watching this in March of 2025, go in, upload your game, and give some feedback. Give it a try. There's even less pressure now because the Feedback Friday is over and no one's looking. So go in, post. I promise I will go in and play and comment feedback on every single game in there. There's no chance I regret that, because if 100 people go in and let, that would be amazing. Yes, and if a deadline motivates you, last Friday in March, I would love if we could do this once a month. That'd be great. If you've watched this far, thank you so much for spending some time with me rambling. You are hardcore. If you want to follow along on the journey, hit that subscribe button to see when I upload videos. This is very much a learning journey for me. I'm learning a bunch of things. It'd be interesting to see where this all takes me. Having a video series where I follow my intuition of what is good for me to do is really nice, and it's nice to have you guys along with me. Till next time, bye.